Hello dear children, welcome you all back to science class. In our last class we have learned about work and energy. We have also understood what are the different forms of energy. In today's class, first let's understand how does change of energy occurs. So energy, it changes from one form to another. Now look into this picture here. In the first picture we see that with the help of an iron box we can iron clothes. That is, when the iron box is plugged in, that is, as we switch it on, electric current is passed, and with the help of electric current this iron box gets heated up. Now as it heats up, we are able to iron the clothes. So here in this case we know that electric energy is converted into heat energy. So here energy changes from one form, that is from electric energy to another form, that is heat energy. So energy changes from one form to another form. Now in the second case, same like that, electric energy can be converted to light energy. Especially in the case of bulbs or CFLs, we know that when we switch on the light, electrical energy is passed and this electrical energy is converted to another form of energy, that is light energy. That is why the bulb glows. So here also electric energy converted to light energy, that is energy changes from one form to another form. In the third picture also we know that when we switch on the electric bell that is there in our homes, we know that we hear the calling bell sound, isn't it? Yes. So here also in the same way, electric energy is converted to sound energy. That is, energy changes from one form, that is electrical energy, to another form, that is sound energy. So in all these cases, we see that energy changes from one form to another form. Now let us see what is this difference between work and energy. Now look into this picture here. Here we see that a man is applying force on an object and he is trying to move the object in the direction in which he is applying the force. So we have already learned that when force is applied on an object, as you see here, and if the object moves in the direction of the applied force, then we say work is done. But we need energy in order to do work, isn't it? Yes. So this man needs energy in order to push this object in the upward direction, as you can see here in the picture. Same way, in the second picture here, you see a man is kicking a football. So here again, this man requires energy, isn't it? Yes. So in order to do a work, we require energy. So energy, in other words, is the ability to do work. So we have learned that when force is applied on an object and if the object moves in the direction of the applied force, then we say work is done. While energy is the ability to do that work. So this is the difference between work and energy. Now let's have a look at renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. So those sources of energy that can be renewed or recycled over a short period of time are known as renewable sources of energy. While just opposite to that, non-renewable sources of energy are those sources of energy that cannot be renewed. First, let's have a look at renewable sources of energy. Some of the examples of sources of energy that can be renewed or recycled over a short period of time are solar energy, hydro energy, and wind energy. First, let's have a look at solar energy. As we all know, the word solar refers to sun, isn't it? Yes. So whenever we hear solar, we know that it is something related to sun. So energy that we get from sunlight or from sun is known as solar energy. Now we know that plants use this solar energy, that is energy from sun, in order to prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. In addition to plants, we human beings also require this solar energy. Yes, various appliances as you see here, like a solar cooker that you see here in the first picture, a solar heater that you see here, a solar calculators, solar watches, all these can run with the help of energy from sunlight. So solar energy is used to produce electricity also, as you can see here. It is required by plants to produce food by the process of photosynthesis, and it is also used in order to produce electricity. So solar energy is used in solar watches, solar calculators, as you see here, solar cookers, solar water heaters, etc. The next type of renewable source of energy is hydro energy. Hydro energy is the energy that we get from flowing water. Now this hydro energy is used to generate electricity in power plants. As you can see here, energy is produced in the case of water that is flowing from a great height, as you can see here in the picture. So this fast movement of water produces an energy, and that energy is known as hydro energy. So hydro is related with water. So energy that is produced from flowing water is known as hydro energy, and this is used, as you can see here, in order to generate electricity. Now this electricity produced will be used in power plants, and later this electricity can reach our homes. Such electricity that is produced by hydro energy is known as hydroelectricity. So in addition to solar energy and hydro energy, wind energy is also a type of renewable source of energy. So we have already learned that moving air is known as wind. So energy that we get from wind is known as wind energy. As you can see here in these pictures, windmills use wind energy in order to generate electricity. So such windmills, they would be located in places where there is large amount of wind. So by the movement of these blades, as you can see, it produces electricity. So windmills, these are windmills, and such windmills use wind energy in order to generate electricity. So this is a source of energy that can be renewed or recycled over a short period of time. Other than renewable sources of energy, we also have non-renewable sources of energy. As we have already learned, sources of energy that cannot be renewed over a short period of time are known as non-renewable sources of energy. Some of the examples of non-renewable sources of energy are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. As you can see here in the picture, this is coal. Now, coal is formed from plants that are buried deep inside the earth millions of years ago. Now, under high temperature inside the earth, plants had turned into what you call as coal. Now, as you can see here, burning of this coal, it produces energy. Now, this energy, it can be used in order to produce electricity, in order to move trains, and it can even be used in order to cook food. So, coal is a source of energy that cannot be renewed because coal is formed especially from burying plants deep inside the earth, and it takes millions of years for this coal to be formed. That is why we say that it is a non-renewable source of energy. Other than coal, petroleum is also an example of a non-renewable source of energy. Now, petroleum is also formed from plants and animals that are buried under the sea for millions of years. Now, again, plants and animals that are buried deep under the sea for millions of years, they will turn into what you call as petroleum. That is why again petroleum is considered as a non-renewable source of energy because it takes millions and millions of years for this petroleum to be formed. Now, what we use at home, that is LPG, what you call as liquefied petroleum gas, that is what we get in cylinders at home. This LPG, diesel and petrol that we use as a fuel in vehicles, and kerosene, all these are formed from petroleum. Now we know that petrol and diesel, these are used as fuel in automobiles, that is in vehicles. And LPG and kerosene, these are used as a fuel mainly for cooking purposes. So in addition to coal and petroleum, another non-renewable source of energy is natural gas. Now, natural gas is also found along with petroleum deep under the sea. Natural gas is mainly formed from a compound or a product known as methane. Natural gas again is used for producing electricity. CNG, otherwise known as compressed natural gas, is one of the fuels that are considered to be clean, which means it helps in reducing pollution. So such compressed natural gases are used as an alternative instead of petrol and diesel. So compressed natural gas, otherwise CNG, is also known as a cleaner fuel since it reduces the amount of pollution, and therefore it can be used as an alternative for petrol and diesel in vehicles. As you can see here in the picture, here we have a car that runs with compressed natural gas. So petroleum, coal and natural gas are some of the non-renewable sources of energy, which means it takes millions and millions of years for these to be formed, and therefore these are sources of energy that we cannot renew or recycle over a short period of time. And since it takes millions and millions of years, we call them as non-renewable sources of energy.